What are you, broken? The comm hit him, but he didn't move. Even though disobeying the comm's direct command to empty a trash can with a single wrapper in it made the thing in his head bite really hard, he resisted. Lazy fuck. Fine, I have to go on privilege anyway. The comm left, hitting him again, for good measure. The pet got up in the morning, because he was compelled to, and he walked around to all the places that were part of his daily routine, but he didn't do his chores. And the comms just thought he was lazy. For the comms didn't know that the thing in his head bit him. He'd known that for years. It was common knowledge among pets. That's how they knew that the comms controlled the things in their heads. And they used the things to talk to each other, or else to enter the virtual world that even the pets like him couldn't sense, that only humans can sense. Day in, day out, he got up in the morning, walked around, but resisted the compulsion. So, all the time, he was being bitten. The thing was gnawing at him, chewing him up, eating his insides. It was almost too much to bear, but he remained broken. What's with this lazy bird? I don't know, he's old. Don't these things die after a few decades? Can we eat him? No way, he's too old for that. Would taste like old farts. Our family pet, a spaniel, it died just before I went to academy. Oh, now Chaz is talking about his family. See what you made him do? One of the comms slapped him, but then they started fighting, slapping each other with tremendous force. Since he was broken, there was no reason for the pet to stick around. Week in, week out, he kept on being broken. At some point, the comms didn't bother to command him at all, and so some of the bite went away. But not all of it, and they still hit him, if for no other reason than that he was there. Finally, the quartermaster came. She didn't say anything, not to him, in any case. Looks like another one is near its end, the quartermaster muttered to herself in the faraway accent. The quartermaster put a restraining collar on him. Poor old thing, she muttered as he pulled him along. Probably too demanding to follow the commands right, she said to one of the comms there. These things happen fast. Don't know why they make us keep these things around anyway, the comm said. Thank you, CO. The pet resisted the collar, just to make sure that they know he is still broken. The quartermaster kept pulling him along, not forcefully, but there was really no resisting so much muscle when you're a bird. On the way, the quartermaster stopped and talked to several people. Yeah, an old pet here. Not privileging his comms no more. Yeah, I'm taking him on a walk. Thought he might like that one last time. Yeah, I'm headed to the composter. Might as well get it done where it'll be cleaned up quick and easy. The pet, of course, understood everything that the quartermaster said. He was headed for where all pets go when they die. When they're euthanized, that is. After all, was he not broken? But the quartermaster did take him on a walk, and the walk was much longer than expected. On that bright day, the sun shining as intensely as it almost always did, the pet got to see parts of the base that he'd never seen before. He saw the hangars where the drive ships were parked. He saw the training grounds, where comms in their armored uniforms practiced military maneuvers, on the ground or flying through the air. He saw a park with a swimming pool, where the comms swam and lounged around between their training and privilege. And he saw the big field, where comms in a different type of uniform, 2 armies of different colors, flew around, passing or chasing a ball. If he weren't broken, he would very much have liked to go back to that park. Maybe not with all the humans around, but definitely to see the brick doves and grass piglets and whirls and other genimals that were there. Then he came to a building that he had seen before. It was the same building at which his previous CO, the stakeholder, sometimes came to work. He knew it because he'd often been with that stakeholder, had been the stakeholder's personal pet. That meant, usually, that he was taking care of the stakeholder's children, or at least entertaining them. But, sometimes, it meant going to the base with the stakeholder, on occasions when other stakeholders and important humans also had their families with them, and so their pets. On those days, everything was different. For starters, the other pets in the household would groom him, dress him up in an outfit that matched the children's. Then they'd fly to the base, where there'd be lots of people, comms and civils alike, standing in rows or else sitting down in bleachers. For a while, the comms would walk past the stakeholder and other humans who sat on a stage, followed by drive ships and groups of armed sapiens and missiles and other weapons. Then a human would talk, and another human would talk, and then his human, the stakeholder, would talk. He never paid much attention to what they said, because the suit they dressed him in was always uncomfortable, and it was all he could do not to squirm while standing on the stage in front of all those people. Then they'd go inside the building and eat, after which time the adults would drink, and he'd be left with the children. This happened once a year, on the stakeholder's birthday. Then the stakeholder's children grew and, one by one, went into academy. By the time the third one had grown and left, the pet was already past 20, getting old by pet standards. Because the children were gone, the stakeholder really had no use for him, and rather than let him stay with the stakeholder's family, and so with his own family, the stakeholder gave him to the base. That was 15 years ago. "Commander Faustus, here he is," the quartermaster said, talking to someone, ripping the pet away from his memories with a single jerk of the collar. "Good thing you sent me when you did. I was on the way to the Combazer. To be straight with you, I don't know why they're giving you this old bird. Hasn't finished the chore in months. But maybe you can do something about his old brain, being a brain doctor and all." "Thank you, Olga. I'm sure he still has some years in him. In any case, I'll take what I can get."